Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you from the studios in the wrestling capital of the South, it's another exciting edition of the BengeBuster Show.
WRESTLECADE weekend returns to Winston-Salem, November 29th, 30th, and December 1st. Meet your favorite wrestling stars. Experience live wrestling events all 3 days. Shop for your favorite wrestling merch and more. Join us for family-friendly fun for wrestling fans of all eras during WRESTLECADE weekend, November 29th, 30th, and December 1st. All goes down at the Benton Convention Center in Winston-Salem. Tickets and info at WRESTLECADE.com.
All right, everyone, welcome to another exciting edition of the BengeBuster Show. I'm your host, Tony Benge, with my co-host, cohort, co-conspirator. I'm talking about Red Hot Tim Blaze, and Tim has got a surprise for us tonight. Tim, who you got on the line with us today?
Yeah, Tony, man, tonight we have got superstar in the house, Mr. James Ellsworth. How you doing, James?
I'm good, guys. Happy to be here. Nice talking to you.
Yeah, man. Well, first and foremost, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us here on the BengeBuster Show to promote WRESTLECADE weekend. Again, just coming up this coming weekend, and it's coming up Thanksgiving weekend, and we just couldn't be prouder than ever to have first-time guest James Ellsworth. Are you excited? We've been trying to do this for a couple of years, dude.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. I'll definitely be there this time, and I'm very much looking forward to it. A lot of fans have contacted me, very excited to meet me, and I'm excited to meet them. And WRESTLECADE is one of the premier signings in all of wrestling, and I'm very happy to be a part of it.
Well, that's cool, man. We're glad to have you there, like I said. So tell me a little bit about that. Let the BengeBuster fans know. I mean, again, a lot of the newer fans know about James Ellsworth, but how'd you get involved in it? What promotion do you work for normally? And tell me a little bit about how you beat AJ Styles.
That's a lot of questions in one, but I'll get to all of it. Yeah, man, I started wrestling at the age of 17. Was trained by Axelrod here in Baltimore. Started in 2002. You know, just worked on the independent scene for 14 years. Got an opportunity to be in the hands of the talent on Monday Night Raw. Faced Braun Strowman. Said the infamous words, "Any man with two hands has a fighting chance." It called on. Vince McMahon that night saw something in me, and kept bringing me back. Eventually signed me and put me in the ring with the world champion, where I just happened to pin him my first night against him on SmackDown. And it was all just so quickly done. By the time I was done with Raw with Braun Strowman, to the time I beat AJ Styles was only a couple of months. And it's just one of those things, man, where literally it was just like watching a movie. Like this 5'8", 160-pound guy goes from the independent scene, working real hard for 14 years. Just, I love to wrestle, man. I love to perform, and I like to do it on any level. So being on the independents for 14 years, I was having a lot of fun, and I was really like learning my craft. I was around good guys like Axelrod, who had traveled the world and made a living doing this. And when I got that opportunity, I really just was so like ready for it. I thought so humbled by it and so happy to be there. And it was also amazing working with Braun Strowman, working with AJ Styles. They were great guys, fun to work with, and yeah, man, some great memories that I'll cherish for the rest of my life for sure.
Man, that's exciting. Tony, you got any questions lined up here for Mr. James Ellsworth on the BengeBuster Show this evening?
Well, I know, James, you're a lot like Tim and I. We have been working these independents for years and years. I was trained by the great Jimmy Valiant, and Tim, you're trained by George South, and so being on the independent scene, and the big time, WWE, but not counting the money and the fame, but like as far as like everybody that you've ever worked with, who's your favorite person to work with?
Man, that's a tough question. So I have so many favorites. I got the opportunity to work with John Cena on SmackDown. They did a mixed tag match with Carmelo and I against Cena and his then girlfriend Nikki Bella. And to me, going from the independents to working the top guy in the business, which John Cena is, still to this day, is in this era, the top guy. And it was a short match. It was a quick match. It was an easy match. But I learned so much from him, and he was so willing to really just tell me why and teach me why we would do certain spots, do certain things. And, like, man, it was so cool. I remember standing in the gorilla position with him before we went out, and he goes, "Man, are you nervous?" And I said, "No, I ain't nervous. I'm wrestling you. You're not going to hurt me. You know, like, you're the top guy in the business." And, dude, so he was probably just my favorite person to work with. I only got to work with him that one time, but it was, to me, just like, wow, I'm wrestling the top guy in the business. And, you know, it was so amazing. And I'll, like, again, just another moment I'll cherish the rest of my life.
I think that's
awesome, man.
Yeah, that's great.
John Cena, man. I mean, you pretty much just hang up your boots after you get to wrestle him, and you've been on the independents that long. It's like, okay, I wrestled Cena, I'm done. But I rooted for you, and I don't know you, James, and I'm going to be glad to meet you at WrestleCade. But I was rooting for you so hard every time you were on the show, man. And then you finally evolved there into the character playing with Carmella there, and that was a pretty big role you had there at that last little run you had.
Oh, absolutely, man. Once I was done doing the angle with AJ Styles and Ambrose, getting them through their, rivalry, Carmella had the idea of, putting her with me, because she kind of lost the shuffle there for a minute in the women's division. And Vince really liked her idea. And I was like, okay, well, I've gotten over as a babyface here. And yeah, it was like a 3-month babyface run. I was like, but I love playing a heel, man. And I really thought the money in me was even, was being a heel, even though, like, as babyface, I had the #1 selling shirt, which that's another thing I like to talk about. It's really cool that happened to me. But, yeah, man, once we were together for a while, and once I grabbed that Money in the Bank contract and handed it to her off the ladder, that was our heat. That was the height of our heat. And I really think we could have did a lot more with it. I never cried out or complained about what WWE did with me, because I am very grateful for the opportunities I got. But I will say, we could have done a lot more after we got that heated Money in the Bank. It was so cool. You just felt that at every house show, every live event, every TV. You felt that people just wanted the girls to beat me up. And by the time Becky Lynch did it, it was, 4 or 5 months later. It was, I think we should have had a match a lot sooner than that. It would have been really cool, because, that was such an awesome moment. And I was having the time of my life cutting promos on the girls and just being a heel and having fun, man. It's, that's my favorite thing to do in the business, is perform as a heel and cut promos and getting people all upset. I love it, man. It's a lot of fun.
Well, you do a great job at it. I tell you, during the height of that thing with Carmella, you know what I think about is when I watch R-Truth and Carmella, I think how perfect you would fit in that role, that 24/7 championship deal. I mean, really, it's just, you could fit right in by just you and Carmella turning on Truth tomorrow,
Yeah, I don't think Carmella's working with Truth anymore. They're on different brands, but the 24/7 title would have been perfect for my character, I feel. And timing's everything, and it's not the right time. Who knows what could happen in the future? But yeah, that would have been a cool little deal there. But like I said, timing's everything, and you never know what can happen in WWE. That saying's been around forever, and it holds true, I believe.
I agree with that.
Yeah. Yeah, never say never on anything. So tell me about, you are going to have the shirt at WrestleCade, right?
I think I have a couple left. I'm going to try to get some more made, because I own the it's my face, so I just use my face. So that's a cool thing.
Unfortunately, it is your face.
Oh, it's a beautiful face, man. Come on now.
It's a feeling a mother could love.
Yeah, and my mother, she loves me a lot. She's a very, very good mom. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to try to bring as much as I can at WrestleCade. And I'm sure by then we'll be out the door, and we'll try to sell some shirts.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. But tell the fans of BengeBusters who you're bringing with you this year.
Oh, man, I'm riding down there with my buddy Gilbert, who, it's funny, that story, Gilbert and I, because, people compared us a lot at first. My character involved, or his character was always just Gilbert, a parody of Goldberg. But it's just hilarious. Him and I've known him my whole life. He lives 15 minutes from me. We're like family. We're like more than friends. We're very close. I've known him since I was 5. I grew up with my uncle and my mom and my dad, and they all knew each other when they were in school. And so we're gonna ride down there together, and I'm glad he's coming, man. He's probably one of the nicest people you'll ever meet in your life, and he's just a great friend, and I'm happy to be hanging out with him that weekend for sure.
That's going to be great. Well, now, just know that when you were first booked for this thing from the WrestleCade team, you were pretty much booked for that huge over the top rope belts championship battle royal. Now, if it comes down to you and Gilbert, who's going to win this thing?
Oh, me. It doesn't matter if it comes down to me and Gilbert, me and whoever. It doesn't matter who's in it. If it's going to come down to me and somebody, and I'm going to win. It doesn't matter if it's Gilbert. Doesn't matter if it's Michael Hayes if he's in it. Doesn't matter if it's Zeus if he's in it. I'm throwing everybody over the top rope. I'm winning the battle royal, and then you guys, what's the prize? Like $100,000?
Do you realize who was in this battle royal, James? I mean, there are names in this. Dude, check this out. From the NWO, Scott Norton and NWO Sting have put their name in the hat. They said if James Ellsworth get in their way, they'll bring whole NWO Japan to Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
So the NWO Sting, it's kind of like a Goldberg. It's just another parody, and that's cool that they're all in it. I grew up watching them all, which means they're a lot older than me, and my stamina will be a lot better, and I'll outlast them, and I'll win. That's what that means, right?
Okay. Well, then you also got the likes of the Blue Meanie that's lost about 150 pounds since his ECW days. He has vowed to not let James Ellsworth win the over-the-top rope belt championship battle royal.
That's his main concern is me. There's how many people in this, and I'm his main concern. So that, you know what that tells you? That tells you he's already thinking about I'm a threat. So for him to even mention my name when there's so many other people to mention, he mentioned me because he knows I'm a threat. He knows I'm an opportunist, and he knows I'm going to somehow, some way, win this battle royal. He already knows. He's already pretty much understanding that he's going to get defeated.
Well, I can certainly understand your point of view. Now, I'm going to let it bet something out right now. That a spoiler to the BengeBuster fans and for WrestleCade fans. You told me this offline a while ago that you would like to challenge the Great Muta in the open challenge at WrestleCade this year. What do you think? Really, you have the credentials to challenge the Great Muta?
Who said I wanted to challenge the Great Muta? Who did you talk to? I didn't talk to you. I didn't challenge the Great Muta. Do you think I'm crazy? That guy, Oscar using the green missile TV, and he's the one that made it famous. What
if the Great Muta picked James Ellsworth as his opponent at WrestleCade?
Oh well, he did. I don't think he would. I think he is a James Ellsworth fan. He finds me entertaining and hilarious, and I don't think he would to try to or attempt to or want to hurt me. Yeah, so I don't think we have to worry about that.
Well, I definitely think if it came down to you and Muta, you'd get the red mist for sure. But again, that's to be determined. The Great Muta this year, Sonny Uno is bringing the Great Muta, and we have no idea who the opponent is. It could be any of the 125 wrestlers that Tracy has brought in for WrestleCade. It's an open challenge, and the Great Muta is going to be one of the big highlights of the weekend, and I just can't wait. But I just got to thinking about that. We were talking offline. If you want to challenge him, you put your name in the hat, James.
I think I'm busy that day, and I got my autograph line, like I said before, is going to be pretty long, and I want to make sure each and every fan is taken care of. So I don't want to leave anybody disappointed, and I'll be there cheering on the Great Muta. I'm a big fan. Fan.
That's too bad, James, because
okay.
I was going to bet I was putting a little bet on you beating the Muta.
Well, I mean,
mean,
I'm always a safe bet.
I went and borrowed some money from my wife and everything for this.
Oh, well, that's very humbling, guys, and I understand that I'm again a safe bet, but I just I think I'm busy. I think I have to check the schedule. I have to talk to my agent. I have to
you're going to be counting all the money. You're going to be counting all the money from the table sales that you have over there at the autograph signings. It's going to be a good time, man. You bring those shirts and let the fans know James Ellsworth is in the house. Let me ask you this, James. Another person has mentioned your name. Your name has came up a lot at these meetings, at the WRESTLECADE meetings and the booking committees and things. But a young lady has entered her name in the hat to go into the over the top rope battle royal, top rope belts championship battle royal, and that's the person named of Jazz. Is there any kind of heat with you and Jazz? Because she says she's kicking your ass in the battle royal.
Well, I will have a heat with Jazz. Last time I saw Jazz was probably a year ago in NWA 70, and I think I shared a little bit of the bubbly with her, and I will see it. See, you guys are trying to start trouble here. Trying to start trouble with me and the Great Miracle. Trying to start trouble with me and Jazz. Well, you guys are troublemakers. I see what's going on here.
We're binge busters. We don't start trouble. We just have spoilers. These spoilers I can figure out here. All these people have one thing in common, and that's James Ellsworth. You see, James, the only thing I'm doing is letting them know that you're coming there to kick ass at WRESTLECADE. And in that battle royal, that was the top rope belt championship battle royal, can be your championship belt this year. And I'm rooting for you, kid. I'm rooting for you. Any man with two hands can fight, and that's you.
Any man with two hands does have a fighting chance. I understand what you're saying. I get that you're building out, and trust me, I'm going to be in the battle royal, and I'm going to win it. But I don't know why everybody wants to attack me. I'm a nice guy. I've always been nice to everybody. I do the polar bear plunge here every year in Maryland for people with special needs that jump in the water with 20 degrees water. I'm a good guy. I don't want you guys starting trouble with me and all these people. They already understand that I'm crafty, and I got a big advantage over all of them because my IQ's superior than most people, and I just out of sight, out of mind. That's what I'm trying to do, and then at the end, use my expert, veterans, See, you guys got me all nervous. Talking about Jazz and
So Tim, am I listening to this right? He says, is he calling the people of Winston-Salem stupid? Because he said he was highly intelligent, more than anybody else there. Is that what I'm hearing, Tim?
I'll see you again with the troublemaking. Are you in the battle royal?
No, sir. I'm going to be I'm going to be running the BengeBuster show.
James, I don't want to take up too much more of your time, but I had a couple of more names as well. That was just couldn't wait to see you, and I don't even think they know you, but I think it's going to be more like an introduction in the Battle Royal, more to speak. But do you know Tank Abbott?
I'm aware of Tank Abbott. I've been a big wrestling fan my whole life. And,
well, he's looking for you. He wanted to buy you a drink and meet you at the ring. And then we just signed Butterbean today. Butterbean's coming to WRESTLECADE. Butterbean, he outweighs me. He's out of my weight class. This is wrestling. We have weight classes, right? Can't wait to meet you. Can't wait to meet you. Can't wait. And it's going to do it WRESTLECADE weekend. That's November 29th, 30th, and December the 1st. More specifically, Saturday, the big battle royal, over the top rope battle royal, top rope belt championship match. The winner gets the big, beautiful championship belt, custom made by Top Rope Belts. It's going to be a great night. I tell you, there's just so many different combinations of people you're going to have to beat, James. But again, like I said, I'm rooting for you, and I wish you the best. And is there anything you'd like to tell the fans of WRESTLECADE before we go?
Yeah, like I said earlier, I'm very excited to see them just as they are me. And, I can't wait to meet everybody that's able, take pictures, sign autographs, do social media shout-outs, whatever they need me to do. I'm very friendly. And, Yeah, and they all know I'm going to win the battle royal. You might as well just get that championship title belt in my size. I'll text you over my size after we're done this call here, and go ahead and get it custom made for me.
Sounds great. Well, there was one other guy that was wanting to kick your ass. His name is Bob Cottle. He's going to be at WrestleCade this year as well. It's been a great time talking to you, James. Bob Cottle. So long, everybody. Mid-Atlantic Wrestling. This is the best wrestling. James, we appreciate you being on the Binge Buster Show, brother. We'll see you this coming weekend for WrestleCade weekend, Thanksgiving weekend, November 29th, 30th, and December the 1st. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Have a good evening, sir.
Hey, this is James Ellsworth, the man to beat AJ Styles. Not once, not twice, but 3 times the real winner of the first ever women's Money in the Bank ladder match. And you listen to the Binge Buster Show with Benge and Blaze. Duh.
All right, fans, welcome back to the Binge Buster Show. Tim, man, what a surprise. I wasn't even expecting to have a guest this week. I thought it was just you and I. And you surprised me again with a hot guest, and on top of it, James Ellsworth.
Well, he's been burning my phone up for 2 weeks to be on the Binge Buster Show. He's called me every day on the hour, every hour to be on the Binge Buster Show.
I'm telling you that.
Tony, I had to get him on there.
Well, yeah, and that's how it is, people. I mean, fans, we got all kind of people calling in wanting to be on our show. I mean, just this week, Tim, has been so exciting. So many blockbuster news has hit the has hit the airwaves. I mean, from the big WrestleCade show coming up to, I mean, it's so crazy. Even Motley Crue's come out of retirement. I mean, and I'm excited about that too.
I mean, everything's going on right now. I'm telling you, I'm going to Ozfest in Maryland, Manson, and I'm like 5th row, brother.
Oh, I love it.
It's going to be going nuts.
I'm telling you, right now is a time in our lives to be wrestling fans, music fans, because I'm telling you, fans, you don't get no better than WrestleCade, and it's only less than a week away, Tim.
I mean, it's just like, again, I just can't reiterate enough. It's like Christmas. And the matches are the Christmas presents.
I'm telling you.
The autographs are the stocking stuffers, and the photo ops is the ornaments.
I'm telling you. And then on top of the tree is the Great Muda.
And he's spraying green mist.
Could be red. So so you know he's going to be having the colors of Christmas. But it's not even Christmas yet, people. So make sure that you don't miss out and you go online right now. There's just a very, very, very few limited seats left. But get your ticket to WrestleCade. Don't miss out. And while you're there, stop by the Binge Buster table and say hey to Tim and I.
We'll be the ones wearing those beautiful T-shirts. You know the ones, the new Binge Buster T-shirts with Blaze and Binge. That's right, the world-famous Binge Buster Show that you can find on podcasts all over the world. The platforms are there. iPod. You can look for it on iTunes. You can hear it on iHeartRadio, Spotify, YouTube, and many other platforms. If you hear your favorite podcast, you can hear the Binge Buster Show, and now you can wear the exclusive Binge Buster T-shirt exclusively. It's beautiful, fans, with the faces of all the guests we've had up to WrestleCade, minus a couple, of course, in production of the T-shirt. We had to stop at some point, but it's got over 15 wrestlers on it, and it's got the WrestleCade logo on the back, and it's just so beautiful. And Tony and myself are just so proud of it. And you'll see, you'll be there. And I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag on you'll be there, but you will be there. And you'll get your Binge Buster T-shirt right there at the Binge Buster booth.
I cannot wait, fans, and it's going to be a great shirt. But more importantly, fans, WrestleCade is going to be it's the place to be. If you have a favorite wrestler, a big time star, a up and coming star, guess what? They're going to be at WrestleCade this year.
And they might be right beside Bob Cottle.
Now, Tim, I'm excited about that because let me tell you something. Growing up, I know people, and I'm not knocking Jim Ross. Jim Ross is a great announcer. I love Jim Ross. But when I was growing up, when I would hear Dave, see, I'm so excited I can't even talk. But when I would hear Bob Cottle say, "All right, fans, that's all the time we have today," man, I got goosebumps, and I still get goosebumps, and I cannot wait to meet Bob Cottle at WRESTLECADE.
Oh, it's going to be great. How do you think I felt? I got 2 or 3 calls from him today, and one of them, he ended the call with, "All right, Tim, till next time, we'll see you at WRESTLECADE."
I love it. I love it. And while I'm there, I'm gonna have to bring my little recording device and get him to do some sound bites for the Binge Buster show. Because man, to have his voice introducing the Binge Buster show would be amazing.
And wrapping it up every day would be even better.
Oh, it would be. Oh, that's great. I love that. I love that.
So it's going to be a good time. Good times.
So, Tim, do we have, besides Bob Cottle, do we have any more spoilers this week for WRESTLECADE?
Well, we did get the Butterbean tonight.
We got Butterbean. That's right. We got Butterbean coming. What about any new matches signed?
Yeah, there was a couple of matches still in the works as of airing, so still working on that. And I'm sure they'll be announced here probably in the next hours or so.
I'm excited. I'm excited. Well, fans, make sure you tune in for that. And Tim, I guess we're gonna take this podcast to home, as they say. But fans, before we close out, we want to thank you for tuning in this week. I know our podcast got out a little later this week than normal, but we've had a lot going on trying to. Tim and I have been attending all these WRESTLECADE match meetings, trying to find out anything and everything that's been going on and any new matches signed. And right now, like Tim said, they're still working on that. And hopefully today or tomorrow you'll be getting some new match announcements. But fans, I'm telling you, the most important thing is you don't want to miss WRESTLECADE. Think about it. You got the Breakfast of Champions. You got the Orange Show. The Great Muta. I mean, we can just go on and on. WRESTLECADE is going to be huge this year, and if you don't come, you're going to be regretting. I promise you that.
Oh, I did get one. It just came through just now.
Okay, what is it, Tim?
Big, huge announcement. The NWA World's Heavyweight title will be defended. Nick Aldis, champion, defends against the returning of King Shane Williams.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
And that's going to be on Sunday, I think the day after is what it's called, the day after. It's going to be AML on that Sunday. That's the same day as the George South Worship Service, the World Class Championship Wrestling Reunion, the Queens of Combat, then AML the day after. It'll be there, and you'll see the NWA World Heavyweight title match on the AML Wrestling Live show right before the Jake the Snake Roberts Dirty Details tour. That's
going to be great. And Tim, let's give a shout out to our main man Jim Cornette this week.
Yeah, definitely give a shout out to Cornette. That again, Trevor Murdoch is pretty tough. I don't know if he's that tough, but he's pretty tough.
I'm telling you what.
Hello?
Oh, that's that, Tim. I couldn't. I'm still sitting here flabbergasted at that whole situation. I don't want to get in. I don't air it here on my podcast, but I just for a second, I just want to say, how ignorant has the world gotten today?
Crazy. It's 2019.
2019, and you still, I thought the whole idea of pro wrestling's drawing heat. Right or wrong?
Well,
wrestling draws heat.
You get somebody too mad, and the snowflakes will speak.
So it's getting cold to him. It's getting cold.
Sure it is.
Well, fans, thanks again for joining us. It's been a good Binge Buster show. Fans, thanks for tuning in. And we got one more podcast coming up next week right before WRESTLECADE, and we're going to have, I'm not going to tell you who it's going to be, but fans, this is going to be the one you definitely want to tune in for, Because if you're all about WrestleCade, the guest we're going to have next week is going to lay it all on the line for you. But you got to make sure you tune in next week. So this is Benge with my co-host Blaze, thanking you for tuning in to the BengeBuster Show, and we will see you at WrestleCade.
Enzo, Kaz, Real One and XL. Bada boom, real ones in the room. How you doing? Okay, so November 30th, Pro Wrestling South, WrestleCade.
You're going to get a chance to see the Rock and Roll Express.
How you doing?
The Midnight Express.
How you doing?
And the Don't Give a Express.
Get off the tracks when a train's coming through. Pow!
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
WrestleCade Weekend returns to Winston-Salem, November 29th, 30th, and December 1st. Meet your favorite wrestling stars. Experience live wrestling events all 3 days. Shop for your favorite wrestling merch and more. Join us for family-friendly fun for wrestling fans of all eras during WrestleCade Weekend, November 29th, 30th, and December 1st. All goes down at the Benton Convention Center in Winston-Salem. Tickets and info at WrestleCade.com.
For this week, we'll see you next week, and until then, so long for now.